So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. By popular demand, the Trump affidavit, all 38 pages of it. I've been going through it and been listening to different reports about it. There's a lot of things to go through, a lot of things to discuss. A lot of this too. You see some redactions going on. But the main question that everyone wants to know is,
What's going on over there? Put the gun down. I saw you with the box. What was in the box?
Because I envy your normal life.
Put the gun down, David.
It seems that envy is my sin.
What's in the box?
okay, so where to begin? So starting out, there's 38 pages in total. Of those 38 pages, 15 of them are completely redacted, and then there's another 4 or 5 that have some minor or major redactions in them. So almost half of the entire 38 pages, you can't see anything. They're just total black bars. If I'll go down just to show you guys so you can see. So you can see here, redacted, partial redaction, redaction, all the way down. So, I mean, it makes it easier for me to break down, but a lot of questions that still are unanswered. Now, I want to go all the way to the bottom to start out. So showing here, property to be seized, just reading it, all physical documents and records constituting evidence, contraband, fruits of crime, or other items illegally possessed in violation of their statute, including the following: any physical documents with classification markings, along with containers, boxes, including any other contents in which such documents are located, as well as any other containers, boxes that are collectively stored or found together with the aforementioned documents and containers/boxes. What's in the box? Information including communications in any form regarding the retrieval, storage, or transmission of national defense information. That's important. I'll get to that in a second. Or classified material. Any government and or presidential records created between January 20th, 2017 and January 20th, 2021. So in layman terms, Trump's entire presidency, which is interesting because Merrick Garland came out when he did his press conference and mentioned that it was narrow in scope. That's what this line here says the contrary, because if it was narrow in scope, it would only be a certain amount of time, but it's pretty much the entire presidency of Trump. So it's more like broad than narrow. Any evidence of the knowing alteration, destruction, or concealment of any government and or presidential records, or of any documents with classification markings. That's the more important thing, but getting back to here, just want to quickly do a control search. I had it already up here, of espionage. So there's 2 instances where espionage comes up, because that was the original charge that they wanted to get him on, was the Espionage Act. So this is just the first one. It's just this gentleman or woman, whoever it is, just talking about their experience. But the second one is in relation to the statute. It's describing the Espionage Act, which is a generic concept of broad connotations referring to the military and naval establishments and the related activities of national preparedness. So it's any classified documents that could be like a national security threat. That's what they were originally, I think that's what they're going for, is that they feel that former President Trump had documents that could be taken by a foreign adversary and then used against us. So that's their main goal, I believe, is that they want to have President Trump on this charge. Now, whether or not that happens remains to be seen. But I just wanted to mention that as well. So just to break down the documents that were taken. So in the boxes, we have 184 separate classified documents. 92 were marked secret. 67 of them were marked confidential, and 25 of them were labeled top secret. So it's a fair amount of documents there. But now President Trump does have the power to declassify these documents. Any president does. Down Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden, they can declassify the documents. That's the power of the president. They're able to do that. So the argument now is, did Trump declassify these documents? Did he go through the proper channels to do so? That remains to be seen. So that's another argument that's still left unanswered. So moving forward, just have some of the timeline here. Back in January, 15 boxes of the materials were handed over. This was when they were still in communication. Everything was copacetic. Everything was, good at this point. And then it does seem that some of the items that were handed over were handwritten notes that Trump had done. And then Let's see what else. Newspapers. Some of the examples were newspapers, magazines, news correspondence, different items like that. And then following the January handover of these boxes, there was they were negotiating privately between the DOJ, the administration, current administration, and President Trump's lawyers and his team. So back and forth. This was for 3 or 4 months up until that point. And then let's take a look here. What else? So I did want to mention that President Trump did respond on his platform Truth Social to the affidavit being released today. This was one of them. Affidavit heavily redacted. Nothing mentioned on nuclear or total public relations subterfuge by the FBI and DOJ, or our close working relationship regarding document turnover. We gave them much. That was what I referred to in January when they were working together. Judge Bruce Reinhart should never have allowed the break-in of my home. He recused himself 2 months ago from one of my cases based on his animosity and hatred of your favorite president, me. What changed? Why hasn't he recused himself on this case? Obama must be very proud of him right now. So a perfect Trump comment there. And the case he's referring to from a couple months ago was back in June. It was a civil case against Trump that the same judge, Bruce Reinhart, recused himself due to some comments that had been made on the internet back in 2017 criticizing Trump. Those were made public, or I don't know how they were made public or if they were just brought up during the case. But because of those, he recused himself. So he's no longer involved in the civil case. Why is he now still in the criminal case? That's an interesting question. So we'll have to find out more about that. And because of that, Trump wants to hire what's called a special master. In essence, it would be a third party that would be assigned to the case that would oversee the DOJ's investigation side of it to make sure everything is on the up and up, so to speak, so that there's no issues. Trump wants to make sure that they're going by the book, because Trump's team wants to be going by the book as well. Hopefully both parties are doing so. That's how cases should be done. But in this country, sometimes that's not the case. But so he wants to have a special master. And right now, the status of that is that it was originally submitted. It has to be refiled for that special master to be implemented into the case and assigned. So if any updates on that, of course, I'll let you guys know. Like I mentioned before, the president does have the power to declassify his own documents, but the main question is, did he declassify all of these documents in question, and did he follow the proper steps? So that's going to be a point of contention moving forward as well. And I do want to show as well, besides that other quote, see if I can go back here. He tweeted that one, and then, of course, he tweeted witch hunt, so obviously he's believing that this is all political, and that's the main goal of this. That's what President Trump believes, that it's all in relation to the midterms, and obviously the House and the House seats that are up and the Senate seats that are up for election as well. So say what you want about the timing of it. It does seem kind of sus, but that's what Trump believes as well. And then this was a pretty good one. This is why I gotta love Trump. He does these little things that are just make you laugh. Even if you weren't paying attention, if you saw this, you'd just be like, "What does this even mean?" He's like, "They missed the page. Make America great again." It's pretty good. So throw a like on that. But it's pretty good as well. So that was his comments for everything going on with the current affidavit. So just to summarize everything, there was some new information that we learned with this affidavit being released, partially redacted. Obviously, throughout the coming weeks here, we'll learn more new information, but it does seem like they were trying to target the former President Trump with the Espionage Act, or at the very least, obstruction of the documents here. So I'll keep you guys up to date at everything that's going on with this moving forward. As we get closer to the midterms, there will be more updates on this. This was just a big day for it because it was a couple weeks in the making, having this affidavit partially released, so to speak. So like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Comment down below what you think is going to happen to President Trump. Comment 1 if you think he's going to get away from this mostly unscathed. Comment 2 if you think it's not going to work out for him so well, or just comment if you think this is all crazy and we should just worry about something else and just worry about fixing the country first. So you can find me on Twitter at Brian_Barsoon, on Rumble at BB_news, on Instagram at Brian Barsoon, and on True Social at Brian Bars89. Thanks for watching and take care.